Hello and happy Friday. I can't believe how fast this week has gone. I kind of want a few more Thursdays and Mondays in there or something just to make my week go longer, get more done, but no, it's been a great week. And hello, Lisa. I'm so glad that you're here. I was just almost about to send you a text and then my guys came in and needed to get out the door and I'm like, now it's 3:30. So Lisa is my virtual hostess starting today. So I'm so excited that you can be here live and joining in as I demo your first card. Hi Lois, thanks for joining in too. So Lisa and her friends, so let me back up. My virtual hostess is Lisa Kennecke from Welcome, Minnesota, and she is a very avid stamper, and I'm excited to do some cards for her and her group of friends. And so to put into perspective, today's card is kind of like the drum roll. It will be no surprise what I'm doing for the group. Hi Sharon, hi Donna, hi Linda. So her group likes Halloween things and things that are fall and such. Hi Wendy. And so I thought it would be fun to start off her party with a bang with something with Halloween in the theme. And if you guys know me, I don't do Halloween too spooky, but this kind of turned out fun just with the coloring of it and everything too. So just want to make sure that I can see my live feed here. There we go. As I get started. So if you guys have questions or comments, I can see them as I demonstrate. So card number one today for Lisa's virtual party is ta-da! And so I'm going to show you a few years back, Stampin' Up! Had a fun window die that was really popular and it wasn't around very long. And so I'm going to show you how you can make your own window die if you want to with our square framelits that we have. So that's how I kind of made that little window framelit there, and I incorporated the cat punch, which is always fun. I sometimes almost forget that we have the dog and the cat punch, and oh yay Lisa, you like it. So yeah, it's just fun to bring in some old with the new and make everything just kind of go and stretch a little bit farther. So the stamps that I'm pulling today's project from is the Ghoulish Goodies. So you've probably seen that. My stamping friend Nancy had a party that's closing up today, and I used the cute cat from there, and so I'm using a different cat today but still going with my Halloween stamp set there. So if you like to follow along, I'm pulling from the holiday catalog, or technically August through December catalog. Thanks, Wendy. Yeah, so this will be fun for you to see how I do the window look. So on page 55, that's where you see the Ghoulish Goodies. And I think I will get turned around because my allergies are still crazy, you guys. I've been sneezing, and so you guys don't need to see me any more than you have to. You guys want to see the card that I'm making today. Okay, so let me kind of get that focused on my workstation there as much as possible. Hopefully that's a good angle. And let me get my iPad there. Okay, so once again, page 55, there's the Ghoulish Goodies stamp set in the catalog, and this is a standalone as far as there's no bundles to this, but it really pairs in well with the whole Hallows Night Magic bundle. And I'm pulling in some of the products on the page before, which is the Cobwebs 3D embossing folder and some of the Magic in the Night Designer Series paper. So that's where I'm pulling that from. So last month too, I did some fun cards with this paper, and like I said, it's a little bit of a darker themed paper. And if you guys know me at all, I hate spiders, but I'm using this paper today. I've been having this battle, silly battle, and my family laughs at me because I'm so afraid of spiders and such, but there's been like big spiders that have been trying to get in my mailbox, and I feel sorry for my mail carrier, but I hardly want to get the mail some days because they're just really creepy spiders. So I can handle the spiders on the paper though. Hi Barb, hi Leah. So here's some of the other papers in there. This pretty peacock paper, I think wouldn't even have to be for Halloween. I think I'm gonna do something fun with that at a different time. I love the Cajun Craze on that kind of spider web doily look. And even this is kind of fun, kind of Cajun Craze. The coloring on my phone isn't picking it up. It looks pretty bright orange, I think, but in person it's more of a Cajun Craze too. So same with these flowers. They're not quite that bright of an orange too, if I'm seeing it the way you're seeing it. So that's where I'm pulling the papers from. And so today has a few steps on the card, so I kind of want to get started on that, and I'm using a few tools. So here again is the card shown the right way. I put a little Wink of Stella. Hopefully the camera can pick that up. On still shots, it's really hard to kind of capture that, and I put some on the bubbles that are kind of coming up out of the pot there too. So the most spooktacular time of year from Ghoulish Goodies. All right, so to start my card, I always kind of struggle, like, because you guys would laugh if you see how I start my cards and how my brain works getting all the ideas together and such. So so I have to always backtrack and go, now, what was the first step, or what should have maybe been the first step in putting it all together? So I'm going to start with this piece, which is 3 inches by 4 inches of basic gray. And that's going to go through my Big Shot, and this is going to go through my Big Shot as well. So this I'm going to emboss with that 3D cobweb embossing folder, and I knew I wanted my cobwebs to come up through the paper on this side, so I kind of had to do some thinking. So I'm going to put this down, so where the line is, this is going to be, whoops, I have to get it better in the camera. So when you open your embossing folders and you see that line, I love the line because it helps on some patterns to really make sure that you're getting a straight piece of paper on your design and such. But that black line is also going to tell you and remind you that this is the front of the paper too as you're looking at it. So that's a helpful little tip. Sometimes it doesn't really matter too much, or you might even go, oh, I like the wrong side better. So I'm just going to pull in my Big Shot. And yes, folks, my new Big Shot's on the way. It will be here next week. So I need to plan something to show you what the new Big Shot looks like once I get it going. Okay, so this is a 3D embossing folder. So I'm putting my 3D embossing plate on there, just running that through. And now we not only have spiders on our paper, but if you can see, we now have cobwebs on that designer series paper as well. So just kind of an extra step that sometimes is just fun to do for that. And then I'm going to switch out my plates, and I'm going to go to my magnetic platform, and I'm going to pull back again that 3 by 4 inch basic gray piece here, and towards the top is where I'm going to put my layered scallop, or my layering squares dies, and this does have a scallop edge to it. Somebody just last week, I do a lot with the scalloped edge from the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and Linda, my stamping friend Linda, said, Belle, I don't see that square in the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I had to remind her and myself that I need to talk about that. The layering squares, ovals, and circles all have not just their plain shape, but they also have some scallops in there too. So this is a fun shape that can be set aside to use for later. And then this is where we have that window cut out right there. So that's all I'm going to do for my Big Shot. And with this, I am ready to do a little bit of stamping on there. And so I'm going to put the most spooktacular time of year. Just going to ink that up with my black ink and kind of stamp that off to the side, but on the bottom, like so. So we have that, And then I'm going to pull in my Stamparatus. I haven't used this for a while. And the reason why I really felt it was necessary for this is I wanted to get this pretty close to the upper corner and this pretty close to the lower corner, but I didn't want it floating in air, or the tree branch, it cuts off there. I didn't want it to be like starting here and over and have her feet floating in air and such. So to me, it was really important to have the right look. So I just trimmed some white cardstock to fit behind here with enough space too that I could have it attached to the glue when I'm done. And so what I did is on here, when you get your Stamparatus, this is another tip. I have lots of tips today. When you get your Stamparatus, be sure to look on the back side here. That is often where, whoops, let me get in the camera, often where the magnets are stored and shipping, right here and right here, those little places in the background, so that the magnets do come with it. So make sure that you find those. And then once I get my magnets from the back side, I wrap them in washi tape. And so what that does is helps protect. These magnets are very, 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 very strong. And so if they click together, they're going to break. So that can happen. So just adding some washi tape kind of helps protect, but you still don't want to just set them anywhere on your crafting surface where they can click together and break. And sometimes when they are put together often, just twisting them apart can almost loosen them up too. So just my little tips and tricks about that. And so a lot of times also I use photopolymer stamp sets with my Stamparatus because they're see-through and it's fun to use my Stamparatus for that. Today I'm using the Cling, which is the thicker stamp, and it's got the foam piece on there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the foam piece from my Stamparatus so that it can get a nice flat stamp to it. And I always just have, this is a silicone crafting sheet. I always just have one in here because it helps when I'm stamping images close to the top corner or the side. It just really helps to kind of make that area a little bit better for meeting the stamp to the ink to the paper. So I'm not putting this all the way to the corner. I'm going to just kind of pull it out away from the corner a little bit there. And then I put my window frame right on top of it so that I know that that is going to be covering it. Actually, I'm gonna take and do this with my camera a little bit. I try not to move it too much. And then I'm like, okay, so now when I do that and adjust that, I don't like where it's at, but a lot of times when you come to my stamping events, I've got everything kind of preset on here. So what I'm going to do next is hold that in place, and I go, okay, I kind of want this stamp, and remember there's no ink on these stamps, so you'll do this before you put ink on your project. So I kind of want, like I said, that witch just to not have her feet floating, but kind of to look like it would look if you were looking in a window. So I want the cat to show up on the stool, and so I have her in there and just kind of a little bit lower than, so it's catching this scallop edge, and same with the moon. Excuse me, I want my moon to show well too. Okay, so I have that. So now when I press down, these are exactly where I want them, and I'm not stamping on my gray, so I can move that off of there like so. So now I have this lined up just where I want it to be. And oops, next, can't believe I almost forgot this. I want to take my my magnets and just kind of hold that down. So that's in a good spot. So I put lots of black ink on, and I press down, and this is the joy and beauty of the Stamparatus, where if you think, oh, okay, my witch's cape maybe isn't 100% black as I want it to be, or the tree limbs or my bat, well, this isn't moving because it's held in place by the magnets, and my stamps aren't moving because they're the cling stamps and they're firmly positioned on my plate. So I'm just going to add more ink again, press down. And not that it was terrible, but it's like, I love that feature. And I feel like, ta-da, it just made everything look a darker shade of black, which I really wanted for Halloween. And a nice shade of black is always good to make your projects look really good. Okay, so I can set aside that. And next I'm just gonna do a little bit of assembling. And so that's going to be taking my, my designer series paper and just taking my seal and putting that. Some edges are sponged more than other on the designer series paper, but I feel like where it's not sponged, you see more of that spider webbing on there too. Hi Chris, how are you? Okay, and Robin too, yes. Okay, so I'm putting that on there like so. And then next I am going to do just a little bit of coloring on here. I thought when I was putting this together that I thought black and white would just kind of be fun for a fun silhouette. But then when I put it on my card, it just kind of looked too blah. And I thought about doing like a kind of a fun mango melody or yellow color for the moon. But I thought, why not pull in the color from the blend? So I'm just going to go across kind of the middle of that with the light Blackberry Bliss, and that's the same color as the card base, Blackberry Bliss. And then I'm going to go around the edges with some Blackberry Bliss as well, the darker. So I kind of thought, oh, that didn't turn out too cute on mine. But then I realized that as it sat for like a minute or two, then the colors just blended together better than looking like scribble on scribble, which is always kind of fun with that. And then I'm going to, before I forget, put my Wink of Stella on right away to make it look really sparkly. And like I said, I'm going to take and just put that around the top of my cauldron and up into the bubbles. And I kind of gave it a good squeeze so that it's pretty thick on there. And then on the back side here, I can just run my seal straight down the side and straight down the side. And I want to kind of put a little extra right underneath that square where it would peek out. Okay. And then next, I want to attach that. Whoops. I don't want that to happen. Okay, there we go. Peel that off. That worked better than I thought. So just want to frame, like I said, how I had it lined up. So I want to frame it so you can see all of the moon and most of the witch and all of that. So like I said, I didn't want floating feet, and I wanted the moon in there, and I wanted to have that branch go all the way to that edge. So that worked out really well. Oops. And then I'm just going to add just a tad bit more of my seal on the white so that that sticks to my project too. So we just have this that I'm going to kind of mostly have over to the side, but up off of here a little bit more to make room for our cat. So far here's the card. Yes, Robin, you say TGIF like it has been a week. Oh, it's good to have you joining in though. Okay, so now my accent piece is going to be the cat. So with the cat punch here, I'm just going to open that up and slide in some black cardstock like so. There we go. And punch it. And what's nice about this being just a silhouette for this project is you could have your cat positioned this way or this way, and that works just fine. So see there's a little bit of a scrap piece or scratchy that I don't like there. Just trim that off. So I thought about popping up the cat, but I changed my mind quickly because I wanted to put some gems on my cat, and so I didn't want that to get too bulky to go through the mail. So I'm just going to put the cat like so, flat, no dimensionals. And then for my gems, I'm going to use the Elegant Faceted Gems here. And with my Take Your Pick tool, I'm just going to lift off, there's 2 sizes of 3 different colors there. So I'm going to use the clear, and hopefully the camera will pick this up. There we go, kind of. Let's see. There is kind of etchy little sketchy hash marks in the gem. So I don't know, maybe it'll show up better even on here. So yeah, you can see the little hash marks in there, which is kind of a fun thing. It's not just a plain thing. They all have like little X's kind of, or squares or lines drawn through there. So I'm going to take of the 2 sizes, the largest one, and put that right in the center of the cat's neck there. And then I'm going to pull off the smaller one there and just kind of put that next to it, and then another small one and put that next to it, and kind of up a little bit to give it a little bit of dimension like a cat would have, or any neck would have there. Okay, so I have that like so. And I wanted to show the clear, and then on my sample I used white so you could kind of see the difference, because I honestly wasn't sure what I liked better, if I liked the clear gems on there, and they're from the same pattern or the same product, so you could do that. Or if you even like pink and want to do something maybe non-Halloween but want to use pink, that's on that sheet too, kind of a petal pink color. So that is those 2, the difference there. And then I'm just going to do a quick inside. So I cut my traditional inside 4 by 5 1/4 just to do that 1/4 inch less. And in the stamp set, they have eek and a little spider. So I just put those on the same stamp set, on the same block, the stamps on the same block. So I have that dangling down, and I should actually send this to my sister, who's just as terrified of spiders as I am, to see what she thinks about that. She probably won't be so thrilled to get this card once she opens it. And so it might be worth it just to do that. And then I'm going to just take that in the inside to finish off the card. So ta-da! Like I said, here's that side and that side. Thanks, Sharon. Yeah, like I said, it's not that there's anything wrong. Sometimes you can definitely finish a project and get that last kind of accessory on there and go, oh my goodness, I've never had that happen out of all of my Facebook Lives, and I've been doing several, and I just looked, and my phone was scrambling, trying to reconnect. I went, oh my goodness, I thought maybe in repositioning my camera, I like just signed off and thought it's Friday, I'm done. So that is card number 1 for Lisa's virtual stamp party. And so feel free to use those bonus codes if you earned any last month if you're ordering. I want to make sure and talk about that. You have till the end of this month to do that, but I know some of you sometimes wait, and I don't want you to forget, or if life gets busy too. So that will work. And then anybody who spends a minimum of $25 and orders using Lisa's host code, then you'll get the 3 cards that I'm making. So you'll get today's card plus the next 2 that I'm going to make, which will be, even though tomorrow's Saturday, I think it just works best in my schedule to do card number 2 tomorrow afternoon. And so I'm planning so far. I don't know what I'm doing for a card yet, but I have some ideas, of course. And then again, next week I'll do card number 3. So I'm just trying to look at my calendar and everything, but then like always, you can watch the replay, because no matter what time I pick during the day, it's not going to be perfect for everyone. So a lot of you I know watch on replay. So I just kind of want to give you a heads up that at some point tomorrow there will be another live video. And then I will now post this card on this website, our Facebook page, and then you can see the still shot of it as well as all the products listed that was used to make the card today and Lisa's host code. So thanks so much for joining in, and yes, Robin, TGIF. And so hopefully you guys have had a great week and have some fun things planned for the weekend. Take care.